right, welcome everyone. It's 12 o'clock. And we're getting some people coming in. We're gonna give everyone another 2 minutes to start. Let me go ahead and pull up our little presentation here. Hey, Andrea from Westfield, New Jersey. I love Westfield Mall. That's probably the only reason, unfortunately, that I would go to Westfield. It's a little far from me, but I love Westfield Mall.
And we would love to hear from everyone where they are from, how their day is going. So let us know in the chat where we're from.
Yeah, definitely. That would be really cool. If you want to share where you're from in New Jersey.
Gilvia from Haddonfield. Hello.
Haddonfield, Whippany, I've been there. Haddonfield, never been. Very cool.
I haven't heard that name before, so that's cool.
Awesome. Brooklyn, yes.
Brooklyn.
I love Brooklyn.
Jamesburg.
Awesome, awesome. A lot of people from a lot of places. I like it.
Waynesboro, Wentner.
Very cool. I love it.
See where everyone's from.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing that. That was very cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. It's 12:02. So welcome to another NJ Thrives Thursdays. So this happens every Thursday at 12 p.m. It's a weekly webinar series for New Jersey small business owners. So I'm your host, Christian Pichardo. I'm the NJSBDC marketing consultant and also CEO at nilumamedia.com. And you're probably wondering who's on the screen also. So this is our moderator for today.
Hi,
I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Uzma. I'm the CARES Act Program Coordinator for NJSBDC statewide headquarters. Some of you who might have attended a webinar previously might know me. Others, hello to you all. I'm excited for today's webinar. We have an engaging audience and, you know, a lot of people eager to learn about social media. So looking forward to it.
Yep. And we have a very handsome speaker today as well. And we're gonna get to that right now. But just a little bit about what the New Jersey Small Business Development Centers Network, what we are, what we do. It's a statewide program powered by the SBA and state partners. We help small businesses in New Jersey with no-cost small business consulting, training and events, and exclusive small business resources. We can't forget about Brooklyn in there. So our offices are obviously for New Jersey businesses, but there is an SBDC New York. So you can go ahead and Google that. For today's agenda, we have some really cool headlines for small businesses, our webinar, and then after that, we're going to get into Q&A. So for today's headlines, so just yesterday, Bill Murphy signed the NJ Economic Recovery Act of 2020. Don't ask me why it's 2020, but he signed it yesterday. No, actually on January 7th. But there was some updates to it. So it was updated yesterday. So here's a link. But there's a bunch of new stuff happening. There is a listening session for what is the update on July 12th by the NJEDA. So links of all these headlines are going to be in the chat. Sorry. Our second headline here is, what is the status of the Small Business Emergency Assistance Loan Program, Phase 2? This was also updated just yesterday. And basically, there's pre-registration opening 9 a.m. on Tuesday, July 20th. So again, the links are going to be in the chat. And we also blast this out on our newsletter every week on Mondays. So please make sure you register your email with our newsletter. And the third thing here is, at the NJSBDC, among our all of our no-cost services, we created a capital team. And basically, we're helping small businesses get the funding they deserve. So we got a bunch of small businesses that were having trouble either finding, getting approved for certain loans and grants. So we created a special team of NJSBDC consultants to help businesses do just that, to acquire funding. Again, it's at no cost. It's provided by the SBA and state partners. So there's a site, njsbdc.com/capital team. All right, so that said, there's 3 things to keep in mind for this webinar. Type in your questions into the Q&A box. There should be a control toolbar looking thing at the bottom of your screen, and you'll see Q&A. So that's where you can plug in your questions. 2 is, you're going to complete a 3-minute survey right after this webinar. Once you complete that, then you're going to get access to this webinar's recording and to the materials, so the slides. And 3 is, you're eligible for the Upgrade Your Business certificate. So you have to attend a certain amount of events, but this at least counts for 1. So more info on that website there, and we're going to put that in the chat as well. So for today's event, I told you we had a handsome speaker today. It's myself. Just kidding, just kidding. So today is how to use social media to generate customers. And I'm super excited to be the actual speaker here because I love talking about it. I love talking about social media and the cool things that you can do to get business from social media. I'm going to go ahead and open this up here. And just want you to know before we start this presentation that I obviously can't cover all the details that are involved in generating customers from social media at a high level. So it's important that you reach out to the SBDC. Wherever you are, there's a center in New Jersey or in New York. There's one in Brooklyn. And connect with a business consultant, and they're going to have a marketing professional that could help on staff. So who wants more customers? I'm assuming that if you're on this webinar, you want more customers. You want it to look like Black Friday every day. So we need to find them. We need to find who your ideal customer is, right? It might not be a puppy. They don't have money, but the owners do. So what is lead generation? So when you're generating customers on social media or anywhere for that matter, it is called lead generation. And it's the initiation of consumer interest or inquiry into a product or service. So this can take on many forms. Today we're covering social media, but you can do this obviously with word of mouth, networking, right? When you shake hands with someone and they say, hey, you have an interesting product or service, you're generating a lead at that very moment. So here's why you should be using social media to generate more customers. So in a survey by emarketer.com and Ascend2 actually, they measured what are the most effective tactics for improving lead generation quality by marketers worldwide. And the top one is social media, second email. So I would absolutely say that those are the top two most important assets to have as a business today, especially how we're moving more and more towards online business. Social media and email, I think, are the top two things that you have to focus on when you're doing business online. 2, who should use social media to generate leads? So the easy answer is everyone. It's B2C and B2B companies can take advantage of social media. Depending on if it's B2C, obviously you're going to have a different audience, and you might be using Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but B2B companies might want to focus on LinkedIn. So it depends who your target audience is. Sometimes they overlap. Sometimes it could be one platform for B2C and B2B companies. So we're going to dive into a little bit about those details in a bit. So here is another survey by Statista as to what are the most important platforms for B2B and B2C marketers. This is from January 2020. I'm sure this changed drastically from then, but I can confidently say that the data probably hasn't changed too much. So we have Facebook as #1 in all areas. You'll see on the bottom there where the darker blue is for B2C, lighter blue is B2B. So Facebook is king here for either or. LinkedIn is a close second for B2B, and Instagram is also a close second for B2B. As for B2C, your second is Instagram and your third is LinkedIn. So you can pretty much say that Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram would be your holy grail if you are targeting both B2C and B2B clients. You might have two businesses, two different branches of your business that focus on different things. So those are probably the best platforms. I don't want you to think that you should not try platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, TikTok. So these are all great platforms as well. All you really have to do is check what is the main demographic of the platform. And if that demographic fits your target audience, then it's a match. And you should try whatever that platform is. So that said, we're diving into the 7 tips to start generating customers on social media. So before diving into that, I want everyone here to understand what is your sales funnel as it pertains to social media. This might look different in other parts of your business, but on social media, this is how it would look. So first you have awareness, where basically your customer is learning about your business the first time they see it. You know, the first time they're aware that you and your product or service exist. And that could be done through a social media post, an ad, a certain offer. After that, then you would get their interest. So how would a customer show interest? They either submit their information on a form or they visit your product page. After that, the customer has to make a decision, whether they buy into the product, the service, or they exit out of the window. So here is where you might want to do your follow-ups, do retargeting ads. You might want to call to qualify that customer and help them make that decision. And fourth would be action. And here is where the money's made. So this is where you hope to get to, where their action is to buy into your product or service. So that's a quick rundown as to what your sales funnel would probably look like when you're using social media.
Chris, just a question. So
Yeah.
just to go back to the slide. So as a small business owner, I would want to know, what is the hardest or the easiest stage in the sales funnel? Is there such thing as that, or are all level stages the same? How would that work?
The easy part is getting people to visit a page or to submit info. The hardest part, as you go down this funnel, you'll see that it gets smaller and smaller. So you may get 100 people that are in the awareness stage, and only maybe 5 to 10 people commit to an action. In terms of the results of the funnel, the hardest part is the sale. But to me, I think where small businesses may get tripped up and may not do enough is where the decision stage is. You need to help your customer make the decision, whether it's running retargeting ads. So if you ever visited a product page on a website, and then that product is following you everywhere you go, on Instagram, Facebook, on other websites, that's retargeting. They're helping you. They're helping you come up with a decision on the product. So not many businesses are doing much of that. And that's where I think the hard part comes in, because there's a lot of setup involved in that and some cool strategies you can do. But yeah, that is a good question. Awesome. All right, so first part to generating leads is you have to optimize your profile. You have to make sure that all of your profile's informational parts are filled in. So you need to have a bio or an about page filled out. You need to have a link there to your website or to your offer. If you have an offer that's better, you can just directly send them to that landing page. You need to have the right sized images. Make sure it's a high quality image on your profile pictures. It's not blurry. They all look the same, right? Unless you have different businesses, then there might be some variation, as you'll see on the example bottom right, where Comcast has different areas of their business. Their Comcast business is more for the general public. Then they have Comcast Business, and that's for obviously B2B. So that's where they differentiate themselves. But up top, you'll see that Microsoft is pretty much all the same across all platforms. So using the same profile image, the same profile name across platforms and your website, it cannot change. You don't want people to get confused. You don't want people to take another second to think about, is this the same business? Because that second is a little bit of friction for me to lose trust and not know if I should be visiting that website. So again, same bio, same contact information on all sites. Use keywords when you're typing in your about or bio section. And the easiest way to think about that is, what are keywords that people might search to find your business? Use those keywords in your about pages or your bio page. Google will find those and they'll rank them. If people are asking the same question that you're writing on your site and your social media pages, you're going to come up. So the last one here is having a strategic offer or a call to action. So if you've ever seen those pages where they explain who they are, and the very last sentence would be, click the link below to get a free something, or to connect with me, or something, right? That is your strategic offer or your call to action. So that's one. That's how you would optimize your profile. Two would be, you need great content. You need valuable content on your social media. And you need to make sure it's relevant to your audience. Second to that would be making it contextual to each platform. And what that basically means is posting it in the preferred method of each platform. On the right, you'll see their rules. I call them rules, but you could post whatever you want, really, but it won't be optimized, so it won't be delivered to as many people if it's not their preferred way, how they would want to see it. So Facebook and Instagram, they like video a lot more than any other content. Twitter likes short text, update kind of stuff. LinkedIn likes articles. They like long form text. They like stories. They like images. You won't see that many videos on there. Pinterest is obviously a lot of images. Infographics are huge. And YouTube, obviously, just video. You'll see their educational or behind the scenes kind of stuff always performs well. Third, to making it contextual would be making sure the content is clickable. Now, that could be in theory, right? In theory, posts on Instagram, they're technically not clickable, but you want people to be interested enough to go into the post, read it, maybe click the link in your bio after that. Or it could be clickable literally, where you have a link on a Facebook post or on a LinkedIn post, and they click through to maybe a blog post on your website, an article you've written, something. I just want everyone to make sure that it's valuable and that it's relevant to your audience. You're answering questions, concerns, or providing interesting facts that your audience would have. Now, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that this is such a valuable chart that you have there, because people often get, like you said, tripped up on, they get confused on what to post where. Like a lot of the small businesses that I follow locally that I visit, I try to go and follow them. But sometimes what I see is that on Instagram, if I'm following them, they'll post a picture, but it's full of text. And if I see that on Instagram, I'm gonna scroll past. I don't want to read it text unless it's in caption. I want to see pictures of your products and your storefront, and what you're selling, what you're making. So if I see like a whole bunch of text on your photo, like where your picture is supposed to be, I'm not gonna read that. So I definitely recommend that people, our audience, takes a picture or something and remember it, or note it down that this is what each platform is for.
Yeah, 100%. And this is just how the platforms made themselves into. So, Instagram, you'll notice that it's just pictures, and people will go on there just to see pictures. If they see anything else other than pictures, then they'll get confused, and they'll probably scroll past. So I don't want anyone to feel too overwhelmed with creating content. I get that question a lot from clients. So it doesn't have to be difficult to create content. I'm going to let you know some tools that you can use to create easy, beautiful looking content. So you have, one would be canva.com, canva.com. You could use that to design posts. And two, Google. So Google, you can simply search what would be interesting posts your target audience has. go to your competitors' social media, go to Google and search up, top, if you're a hair salon, type in, top hair salons in America. Look for their social media, check out the types of posts they're doing. And you don't have to do it at the volume that they're doing it, right? They probably have someone full-time running their social media. And obviously small businesses don't have the time or many times the resources to do that. So you can be posting 2 times a week, 3 times a week. If you want to do 5 to 7, sure, if you have the time and resources. But whatever time frame you choose, stay consistent and create valuable content. Don't sell as much as you do valuable content. It should be more like 80-20.
And Matt in the chat just said YouTube is the second largest search engine, which is such a cool fact. And thank you for sharing that. And it reminds me that, yeah, it is the largest search engine because people go there to see how to use, right? So you just said Google this, and that. That's awesome that you're doing that. If you don't know how to use Canva, you can literally go to YouTube, say how to use Canva. And you'll find the information there, or how to use social media or anything like that. You'll find it out there.
Yeah, very, very good point. And also create your own how-tos for your business. Those always perform really well. So that was step 2, how to create great content. 3 is having an irresistible offer. So saying free consultation or 20% off, they're great, but they're not enough to get people excited. We hear it all the time. We're sort of numb to it. I hear free consultation from everyone. So what do? You have to get creative and specific. And this is what I mean. So free B2B marketing blueprint. A lot different from consultation. And then 50% off plus free shipping this weekend only. So tell me, would that drive you to submit your information or to at least look at the product page a little more than just free consultation or 20% off? Why? Because it's specific. You know your target audience. If my audience, I know, are businesses and their highest interest is to get a blueprint that they can implement themselves, then I know that that is my offer and that's what they're going to be most interested in. And then 50% off plus free shipping this weekend only. You want to take advantage this weekend, right? Not on Monday, because by then you're losing the deal. So that's a little quick tip on creating an irresistible offer. At the end, I'd love for you to drop any questions on how we could create an irresistible offer for your business in the Q&A part of this webinar. So number 4 would be to create your landing page, product page, lead page, squeeze page, whatever you want to call it. It's all basically the same. It's the page where people will either submit information or buy a product. So on the left, you'll see a lead page. You could also call it a landing page or a squeeze page. It's all the same. And I just want to clarify that because I get a lot of questions as to landing, lead, squeeze, it's all the same. So on the left, you'll see that's where somebody would submit their information to get, I guess, generate 20 leads every single month without ad spend. Awesome. So you submit your information there. It's specific. Branding is on point. Colors are on point. I know what they're offering and I know what I'm getting into if I submit my information. On the right, you'll see an awesome product page. So We're going to talk about the other details on these, but at first glance, I love that they're putting the product on a person so that I can imagine, not me imagine it on myself. I'm not going to wear extensions anytime soon, but you could imagine it, right? Your customer could imagine it using your product. You have color selection. You have even the features on the very bottom of the add to bag button. It says free worldwide shipping, 60-day exchange returns. You know, these are all things that customers are looking for that'll make it easier for them to make the decision to buy. Because if it didn't say free worldwide shipping and you tell me it's $50 shipping, then I might look for someone that says free shipping. So here are the details. Landing page tips, you want a clear and concise header. You want to say exactly what you're offering. Number 2 would be include some social proof. Now, we couldn't see it in the example before, but social proof would be something like as seen on Fox News, or as seen on TV, or as seen on HGTV, right? That's that TV show where they sell random stuff, right? And have a clear call to action. So make sure that button says, here's where you have to click to get what you want. Number 4 would be removing any navigation buttons. And the reason for this is to avoid any distractions. So if you have your navigation buttons at the top, like your regular website does, then I might look at your landing page and then hover over to the about page, or hover over to the services page, or to the contact page. And then by that time, I'm lost, I'm tired, I'm probably going to lunch. So I leave and exit your website. So removing navigation buttons just makes it easier to focus. Last one here would be use a thank you page. So when somebody submits their information, they get redirected to a thank you page. And that thank you page, you could take advantage of it and use it to lead to other content, lead to another product, maybe a downsell or an upsell. Or you can really strategically use it for a lot of things, but I like the idea of a thank you page, just giving more value to, or even to ease your sales process, right? So you might want to include even testimonials on there, a case study. So those are good ways to use a thank you page. And then product page tips would be having a distinctive product name. Please do not put white t-shirt if you have a t-shirt business. Give it a creative name. Your brand is creative, and you need to think about it as a brand and differentiate it from other businesses. So having a distinctive product name will help you do that. Number 2 would have a standout add to cart button. Really, we're all used to the button saying add to cart, so that's fine when it comes to product pages, but just make sure that the color of that button stands out. It's the main color of your brand, usually. So that's what you can do there. Third would be great product photos. Many times we won't make a decision on a product if we don't see the details, if we don't know how it's used, if we don't know what it would look on us. So having a model use your clothing, or having a video showing how to use maybe an electronic that you created is extremely useful in selling that product. 4 would be full product descriptions. And when I say full, I don't mean just a big block of text where it's just hard to read and all just bunched up together. You need to make sure that your product descriptions are clear. They say exactly what it is. You want to include what are the benefits, what are the features, and you want to separate all these things in your product description. Again, don't make it super long. You want to get to the point. Fifth here is shipping information. Super important. When I was running an e-commerce store, I think the #1 question that I got was revolving around shipping. What's my tracking number? How long am I going to get this? And trust me, these inquiries are a headache. I was getting maybe 5 or 10 a day. And on top of that, you need to follow up in case they have other questions, in case they didn't see the tracking number, or didn't get any shipping information from the carrier. So it could avoid a lot of customer service issues if you have your shipping information very clear on the product description. You know, expect delivery in 7 to 10 days, something like that. And the last one, but definitely not least, is product reviews. Product reviews are best if they are very descriptive and have images. So you want to influence your customers in some way to leave descriptive reviews with images. And you'll notice that on Amazon's product pages, those are the reviews that you're probably looking at first. They're very descriptive. They say exactly what the experience was. They have a photo or a video even. So those are great tips for products.
Just a question here, Chris. So, you know, and this is related to one of the questions that we got. And just a reminder, please put your questions in the Q&A, otherwise you're going to get lost in the chat. But one of the questions that we got was, how do you approach this for services, coaching, consulting, facilitation, and learning solutions? I kind of want to, we can answer that later on too, but I just want to twist that a little bit. So, you know, you say product reviews, shipping information, product photos, add to cart button. You know, how do you approach this with consulting, facilitation, learning solutions? If you have that kind of business, would it be the same process or would it be different?
Gotcha. So product page tips would mostly be for B2C companies because it's for products, right?
Right.
So on the left, the landing page tips, those are mostly for B2B companies. So if you're a consultant, I'm actually working with a few different areas where they need to create their own funnel, right? So this would be the start of the funnel. So if you're a consultant, you're creating a landing page of your offer. You know, again, don't use free consultation anymore. We're past that. 2021, we're almost in 2022 now. We need to create or get creative about our offers. So if you are serving, let's say, I'll give an example of a client I'm working with where they create training programs for trainers. So I'm a consultant. I go to this person because I want to create a training program for my clients. So their landing page would probably look like, you know, create a transformational training program. Here's a blueprint on how to do it. Submit your information here. And the button would say, get your blueprint now. So that would be a good landing page. Obviously, we're leaving out some details, you know, the branding, the colors of the button, all psychological stuff that we can include in there. But that's probably one of the things that you want to do. So on your website, create an offer page, landing page, whatever you want to call it. One offer, one form for someone to submit their name and email. And that's pretty much it. Then you'll have to go to an SBDC center and ask them about the details. It's because we don't have much time here, but yeah, that's what it would be for B2B businesses.
Right. So it basically follows the same process, but the approach is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're still putting a short description, whether it's about the product or about what that person is getting. Your product reviews are the same as social proof. Social proof can be testimonials, which is technically reviews. Navigation buttons, you'll want to remove that on the landing page, but not on the product page. But there are similarities in the two approaches, but they could be very different. So again, more details either at a future webinar or with a SBDC center. So number 5 here is where you would set up a follow-up system. So disclaimer, you don't need this to start, but it will improve your conversion rate. You'll want to incorporate any or all of the following. Depends on your business model or in your sales process, but you want to have email marketing. In either or business, you want email marketing. Emails are, and I say it all the time, it is the #1 asset that an online business could have. So email marketing, SMS marketing, which is just text message marketing. A third is an appointment setter, or you could call them an inside sales agent. Basically, that's the person that picks up the phone, and let's say somebody submitted their information on your landing page for a consultation. This person would pick up the phone and say, hey, thanks for submitting your info. This is what we're going to do. These are the next steps. Are you interested in this other thing? So that's how it could increase the conversion rate, having a live person on there. Retargeting ads. So again, those ads that follow you everywhere. Whether you're on Google or Instagram scrolling, you're still seeing that same product. So that's achieved with what is called a Facebook pixel and a Google pixel. So Google doesn't really call it a pixel, they call it something else, but we're gonna put them both in the same bucket here. So Facebook pixel and Google pixel. And basically you put that on your website. And every time somebody goes on your website, they get attached what is called a cookie. And that cookie is now attached to that customer and it follows them wherever they are. A little creepy, but that's where tech has gone. And that's how you get more sales, you get more data equals more sales. Last one here would be chatbots. Now, this is has gotten bigger in the past year or so. And if you've ever gone to somebody's Facebook business page, you'll get an automatic, hello, how can I help you? What can I help you with? Even some websites have it. And you can automate some of your customer service or even improve your conversion rate if you have an automatic chatbot that answers people's questions about, pricing, details on a product, et cetera, et cetera. That could be a little bit more intensive to create because you need to have, what would the question be and what would the answer be to that question for a lot of different conversational scenarios. So that's why it could get very intensive. So I would recommend start with email marketing and branch out from there. If you're a B2B business, you may want to think your next step would probably be an inside sales agent who qualifies those leads for you. So once they get on the phone, you want to make sure you're not wasting your time with window shoppers or people who just love to submit their information on sites. This person would qualify them for you. But yeah, those are the different ways to improve conversion rate with a follow-up system. You see an example of that on the left. You get traffic from an ad. After that, you go to a squeeze page. Again, it's landing or lead page or offer page. They would opt in their information to a list. If they do, they get 25 or 50% off. If they choose not to opt into the list, they get an even bigger discount. If they do opt in, then they get a series of automatic emails. And you'll see it's very small on the bottom. This is just one strategy. Yours might be different, but you'll see they're hitting them with content, an offer, content, another offer. So I'm sure you guys have submitted your information where you get a bunch of emails and they're slowly closing you on the sale. They're telling you, look, this one email might say, hey, hear this testimonial that we got yesterday. The second email might say, hey, we're running a special this weekend. Are you in? Et cetera, et cetera. So that's how follow-up systems work. So that's 5. And now that you have your content, you have your offer, your pages, and your system ready, it's all set up. Now it's time to sell. And how do you do that? So there's 2 ways to sell on social media. One is a fairly new strategy, and I don't know who coined the term, but it's social selling. Number 2 is social media ads. And simply, social selling is the practice of using a brand's social media channels. So you using your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn to connect with prospects, create a connection, develop a relationship, and then engage with that potential lead in hopes to close a sale on social media. So this is no different than getting on a phone call and cold calling someone. This is basically cold DMing a potential customer. So here are 2 examples. On the left, you'll see where company Hello BC, and this is actually an awesome reply by British Columbia. So it's Hello British Columbia, I'm going to assume, where they respond immediately to a hashtag that somebody posted with an image. And they're asking if they could share that same picture. So obviously this is to promote British Columbia, how amazing that area is. So you can also do this with your business. Let's say you are a, let's say real estate agent. Search for hashtag engaged. And you might be saying, why? Well, people who are just engaged are probably thinking about buying a home together. So those are potential buyers of a house. And if you go to that hashtag, go through the list of people posting images, you might want to do something like what Hello BC did and say, hey, perfect time to get a home together, ? Or that might be a little aggressive. We might want to get a little, maybe start liking images, comment on a few, and then send them a message. But conversation. You're meeting someone brand new, just like in person. You want to date them before you marry them. So on the right, you'll see an example on LinkedIn, and you've probably gotten this a lot. I know I've sent a lot. So basically going headfirst into the offer. I would recommend going in with value. So if you notice that, let's say you're a consultant and you're looking for let's say you're a consultant for dental offices, You're looking for dentists on LinkedIn. You search up dentist, you're going to see a bunch of people who have that job title, and you just start connecting and messaging them, leaving them a note saying, hey, we're in the same industry, thought we should connect. What do you think? And that's how you could start a conversation to then start the selling process. So here are some tips to start. This is just one strategy, guys. This is not the Holy Grail. And I can't even promise results because I don't know what you're writing, what your scripts are going to be, how often you're going to do this, or even your industry. But this is pretty general. And I would say this fits mostly B2B companies. So first, create 1 to 5 scripts. So these are scripts where you could simply copy paste them into a message immediately, so you don't have to think about it every time you message someone. 2, find your target audience using hashtags, location, so geotags, go on competitor pages, go to Facebook groups, etc. And then you can also use social listening to find opportunities to engage with people. So I don't have the image here, but there's a great example where I believe it was a software company and somebody was complaining about it, saying, you know, I'm going to give an example. I hope no one in Microsoft here, or nobody here works at Microsoft, but let's just say someone says, at Microsoft, your Outlook is incredibly difficult, something like that. Then you as Google will find that if you're searching for the hashtag Microsoft and you reply, well, isn't this a great moment to try Gmail? Right? So that would be a great opportunity to engage. Number 4 would be reach out to at least 10 people on each platform on a Monday. And for the rest of the week, every day, you're going to follow up with those 10 people. If they respond, obviously you start your sales process. If they don't, you're going to want to ask them, you know, hey, did you get my previous message? Hey, just want to let you know this offer is done on Friday, et cetera, et cetera. And then 6 would be every Friday, you would optimize that and then repeat it. So you always want to remember, besides everything else, to reply to all the engagement on your profiles, any relevant hashtags or locations daily. Set yourself up some rules, something that you can handle or that your team could handle, you know, however small you want to start. But just remember, input equals output. 100 messages out a day, there's a small percentage of those that could become a sale. You have to figure out those numbers. And you won't know until you get to that amount of outreach. So that's social selling. And again, this could be more tailored to maybe B2B companies and possibly even B2C companies if you're brand building. So that's where social listening can come in, and you could do those little quirky things on Twitter and reply to people with funny stuff like Charmin has done in the past. And they sort of become viral, and then it builds your brand online. So you can do that too. Just some ideas. 7, and the last step, my favorite thing, is social media ads. They're quick, they're cheap compared to everything else, radio, TV, billboards, and they work for both B2B and B2C. And this is what I built my company on, so I can tell you that they work, is what I'm saying. So 1, product ad tips. This is for B2C companies. If you have an online shop, this is what these are some tips. Number 1 is never boost a post. Everyone who starts on Facebook, Facebook tells them boost this post, but it's basically them asking you please donate to Facebook, because there's not many results that are going to come from it. Why? Because they're optimized for engagement, not conversion. So you're probably looking at them and saying, wow, so many people, I'm reaching so many people have so much engagement. Well, it's because it's optimized for engagement, and engagement doesn't equal sales. There is an option for you to optimize it for conversions. And to do that, you have to create your ad on what is called the Facebook Business Manager. You access that through business.facebook.com. And if you want to use Twitter, if you want to use Snapchat, those would be different platforms. I don't know if they have the boost post feature, but just want to let you know, don't boost your posts. 2, this sort of comes from number 1, is choose conversions as your objective. Tell Facebook what you want. It's going to ask you, do you want engagement? You just want people to look at your post? Sure, here you go. If you want people to buy your product, if you want people that are going to go to your product page and click check out, then that's what you have to choose. It's super simple. I don't want people to overcomplicate it. Just tell the platform what you want. Number 3 is to leave targeting fairly broad to test. So let's say you have an online shop that sells hair extensions. You want to target hair extensions. That's it. If you want to test another interest, hair clips, but use that first. Facebook, trust me, Facebook has a lot of data, a lot of scary data on you. I don't know, they might know what I ate this morning. So it's all great for ads. So leave it broad. Once you get the data, you'll know what your age range should be, and what gender you should be, the percentages of each. So let the data tell you. Number 4 is to use creatives that resonate with your target audience. Creatives are the images or videos of the ad. Videos get a lot more views. They get a lot more exposure by platforms. It's just how the algorithms are created. They're pushing for more video content. So that's what I would recommend. Video is great for products that need an explanation. So electronics, even if it's hair extension, doesn't have to just be a picture. Maybe you can, show how easy it is to put on, or how, I guess, invisible it is in your own hair. I haven't worn any extensions, so I don't know. I'm just assuming here. So yeah, use video and images. 5 would be use copy that mimics the language of your target audience. I always give this example. A lawyer is not going to write the same copy or text as if you are marketing for a baby store. If you're just selling baby products, right? If you're selling baby products, baby toys, you are speaking to a mom, probably. But if you're a lawyer, totally different target audience, different language, much more serious. So I want you to think about who you're talking to. I'm just going to take a look. Oh, we have one. Okay. We can go over maybe 5 minutes. I hope nobody minds to get to Q&A. But this is the last slide. Social media ads, a lead ad. This is the easiest way to get B2B leads. And what you want to do here, Facebook provides this, and also LinkedIn, where you can just create just what you're seeing on the left, that example. Somebody clicks on your ad, a form pops up, you put your customer, potential customer at least, fills in their name, email, phone number, and click submit, and that's it. So you want to capture key contact information. Number 3 ask at least one qualifying question if you want to improve lead quality. So if you don't want any window shoppers or people wasting your time, wasting your sales assistant's time, include one qualifying question. Maybe, have you been in business for 2+ years? Great. Then you're much more qualified than someone who probably isn't. Keep in mind that this will increase your cost per lead, your CPL. But it all goes hand in hand. It might increase that cost, but you're reducing the time and cost it takes you to pick up the phone and qualify them yourself. Number 4 is set up automatic follow-ups. And 5, use the thank you page. Redirect them to more information that'll make the sale easier. Case studies, testimonials, etc. Here's some bonus tips. Using sponsorships and influencers. Host a live event, a webinar, where you explain your entire service, and at the end, you say, this big offer, 50% off, 80% off this deal today, if you commit. Last one is a referral campaign. Explain to people that if they bring you business, there's a kickback. So those are the tips. I'm done there. I need a drink of water.
Yeah, that was a lot of information provided. That was great. I believe that's, is that the presentation, Chris?
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We can get into Q&A.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of questions.
Awesome.
Yeah, before we get to them, I know some people are leaving, so I just want to remind you guys that we posted a lot of the links in our chat, whether you really in this information. The recording will be on one of the links provided, and so will the presentation. And for the presentation, you just have to finish our survey, and then you'll be on our thank you page, we have the information to redirect you to the presentation materials. So that's how we use that. So let's get to questions. We would love if you could stay. If not, we will have recording.
Or you can also request counseling from your local SBDC center. You might even end up with me. So yeah.
So Chris, can you just quickly, if you can, say how they can get to counseling with you, or how they can reach out to you, or?
Sure. So what you would do is, I believe we're doing our specialty link, right, Uzma?
I think so, yes.
Right. So we're going to drop that link into the chat, but basically once you get that link, just fill out your information, register there, and it's just like registering to any SBDC center, but you're doing it almost directly with me. So you'll get to talk to me. We get to speak one-on-one about your business, about all of this, and we could dive deeper. And that's a lot better than this short presentation that I wish I could say all the details on.
For sure. So, okay, so quickly getting to our questions. Mary asked, do you recommend a social media app that tracks your Facebook and Instagram followers and posts? An app that will show your best time to post, if we gained new followers or lost any followers?
So all platforms have their own scheduling feature now. Facebook has Creator Studio, and you could use it to post also on Instagram. And Twitter has what is called tweetdeck.com. And you can use both of those to schedule posts on each platform. Now, the reason I haven't recommended one that does it all is because the social media platforms want you to use their platform. So they're reducing the reach and exposure that your posts get if you use third-party apps such as Hootsuite, Buffer.com, Later.com. Many times it's not the case, but I know that Hootsuite has gotten hit hard with it recently. But yeah, try to use whatever the platform has.
Great. So hopefully that answers your question, Mary. Another question we have is, how can one research to see?
No worries.
Okay. How can one research to see where on social media our branded product is being advertised by our sub-distributors?
Don't understand the question.
That sounds like a bit of a loaded question. So see why fine if you're still with us. Please make sure to email us or go to request counseling so we can help you more. So make sure to reach out to us. We'll move on to Tanya. Tanya's asking, doing so irresistible offer. Aren't you creating something that people think that it's too good to be true?
Almost. So you want to teeter-totter on that edge a little bit and figure out, does it sound too much like a scam, or could this be legitimate? Is there value to this? Most people would probably think it's or should think that your offer is justified, or that you are willing to provide it. Like a free marketing blueprint or a free 15-minute business audit I could probably see myself signing up to it. And you just have to sort of make that judgment on your own. But obviously you could register with us and we could dive deep into the exact offer that you want to do, and we could let you know what could be good or what could not.
Plus, it also depends on what your business could do, right? If you're going to say 50% off on all products and your business can't stand that, that's too good to be true for everyone. Right. So definitely reach out. Another question that we have is YouTube good for local businesses? I know one of our attendees, Matt, helped answer that, but Chris, if you just want to touch base on that.
If YouTube good for local business, look, it depends on the content that you're doing and who you're targeting it to and how you're marketing it. So if you're marketing to your local area, then it's going to work. Think about the, I know some influencers and some even, I think, restaurants are creating cooking type of shows, and it's local because their restaurant is local. So yeah, it depends on how you're marketing it. If you're marketing it locally, it'll work locally.
Sounds good. We have a lot of different questions, and I think we have Arthur asking if B2B contractor would amount to a sales marketing campaign. That sounds like something we could answer in a one-to-one session. We have Shelly asking, do you think it's necessary to have a website if you have a Facebook business page and an Etsy account?
If you have an Etsy account, that account already has, that platform already has its own audience that go to Etsy to look for handmade products. So you technically don't need a website, because if you have a website, then you have to do your own marketing and drive traffic to your own website. Etsy basically already has it all done for you. But you can use Facebook to augment that traffic and drive more people to your Etsy page. So if you're just starting out, stick with Etsy. Once you get to a certain volume where you could maybe hire someone to do your marketing, or you learn how to do it yourself, practice a little bit, then you can move on to your own.
Okay, and we'll take this as a final question. We have 2 other questions from Arthur, but again, one-to-one consultation will be better. From PK Ghosh, we have, I am a technical consultant for steel technology. My contacts through networking have almost dried out. How do I get new customers? Can be verified?
LinkedIn. You go, what are the job titles of the people that you used to contact in your network? Search those job titles on LinkedIn, connect with them, send them a message. It's just like what you do in person or through a phone call, except you are writing it in a message on LinkedIn.
Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Again, any other questions, please email us. We can't take all, we're over time, so it's time to close out, I believe.
All right. Awesome. So yeah, thank you everyone for all your questions. Remember, you'll possibly even get me as a consultant if you go to the link in the chat, njsbdc.com/request-counseling, or there's a special link in there. So it's all in the chat. Make sure you're going through that. And I'll possibly meet with one of you guys.
Yeah, specify that you're coming from this event and you want to speak to a marketing consultant. Otherwise, it may just go out broadly and you might get assigned a random, consultant. So please specify what kind of assistance you're looking for and give a referral to this event.
Awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Our next event is with Arash, and we are presenting systems to keep your suppliers in check. So I think there was some questions about a supplier in there, so this might be a good one for you. And as always, NJSBDC has helped over 13,000 small businesses in New Jersey. To get started, njsbdc.com/request-counseling. That's it for me. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Uzma, for the help. And yeah, have a good week, guys.
Take care, everyone. See you at our next event.